Las Vegas, Nevada. Convention Center. November 22, 1986. Saturday night, 9:15 p.m. The air inside the arena is electrified. 15,000 people have packed every centimeter of space, the energy vibrating off the walls like static electricity. This is not just another fight. This is the night when a respected veteran publicly promised to teach a lesson to a 20-year-old kid who, according to him, had no business being there. Mike Tyson, 1.78 meters tall, 100 kilos of explosive muscle and contained fury. Bull neck, shoulders like concrete blocks, arms that seemed sculpted specifically for destruction. But it isn't the physique that terrifies. It's the eyes. Empty eyes, devoid of emotion, predator eyes that look through opponents as if they were already dead. At 20 years old, Tyson had already amassed 27 consecutive victories, 25 of them by knockout. No one had made it past the third round. No one had even seemed to have a chance. On the other side of the ring stands Trevor Berbick, 33 years old, 1.88 meters, 104 kilos. Former heavyweight world champion, the man who defeated Muhammad Ali in the greatest's final fight, the man who knocked out Pinklon Thomas to claim the belt. A veteran with 11 years as a professional, 31 wins, only 4 losses. A fighter who faced and beat some of the best boxers of his generation. Berbick is no nobody. He is legitimate. He is dangerous. And he is absolutely convinced he is going to destroy Mike Tyson. For 3 weeks leading up to the fight, Berbick made it personal. In every interview, every press conference, he ridiculed Tyson, called him a spoiled kid, a marketing product, media-manufactured hype. He hasn't fought anybody real, Berbick told the cameras, his voice dripping with contempt. Those guys he knocked out? Tin cans. Nobodies. I'm a real world champion. I fought Ali. I beat Ali. This kid doesn't know what it's like to get hit by a real man. The media ate it up. Berbick versus Tyson. Experience versus youth. The wise veteran against the arrogant young punk. Berbick promised he would teach Tyson about respect, about what it truly means to be a heavyweight. I'm going to give him a lesson, Berbick said 3 days before the fight, pointing his finger at the camera. When I'm done with him, he'll go back to his trainer and rethink his entire career. You can count on that. Tyson didn't respond. Through all the provocations, all the insults, all the threats, Mike Tyson remained silent. In interviews, he gave short, monosyllabic answers. Yes. No. Maybe. At press conferences, he stared at Berbick with those empty eyes and said nothing. He just watched, studied, memorized every gesture, every word, every movement. His trainer, Cus D'Amato, had died a year earlier, but the teachings remained etched in his brain like sacred commandments. Don't talk. Show. Let your fists do the talking. Let your violence be the answer. Tyson was about to demonstrate. The press interpreted the silence as fear. Columnists wrote that Tyson was intimidated by Berbick's experience. TV commentators speculated that the young fighter had finally met someone who got inside his head. Berbick read those analyses and laughed. See, he said in an interview 2 days before the fight. Even the media's noticing. The kid is scared. He knows this time it won't be easy. He knows he's going to get hit for real. Tyson watched that interview in his hotel room, in silence, then went to train. 2 hours on the heavy bag, 1 hour of sparring, 1 hour on the pads. Every day. Always. Relentlessly. Now the night has arrived and the 2 men are in the ring. The temperature inside the arena is suffocating. 15,000 people generate heat, sweat, raw anticipation. The smell is spilled beer, popcorn, and collective adrenaline. The ring lights are so bright they create a separate bubble of reality. A stage where only violence matters, where nothing exists beyond 2 men and their intentions. Berbick is loose, relaxed, smiling at the crowd. He shadowboxes, shows off his combinations, waves to fans chanting his name. He is confident. Why wouldn't he be? He has over a decade of experience. He has been world champion. He beat Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. What chance does a 20-year-old kid have against someone like that? Tyson is in the opposite corner, completely still. No bouncing, no warming up, no smiling. Just standing, breathing, watching. His eyes locked on Berbick with an intensity that makes some people in the front row shift uncomfortably. There is something wrong with that stare, something unnatural. It isn't anger, it's emptiness, it's pure purpose. The referee calls both men to the center. Berbick walks over confidently, still smiling. Tyson glides forward in small steps, hands already up in his signature peekaboo guard, elbows tight to the body, gloves protecting the face. The referee gives the standard instructions. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands. Clean fight. Good luck to both. Berbick nods, smiles, taps Tyson's gloves almost with disdain. Tyson doesn't react. He just stares. They return to their corners. The bell rings. The fight begins. Berbick comes out of the corner confidently, claiming the center of the ring, throwing light jabs to gauge distance. He is bigger, has longer reach. His plan is clear. Keep Tyson at range, use the jab, wear the kid down, then start attacking in the middle rounds. It's a solid, time-tested strategy from decades of professional boxing. There's only one problem. Tyson isn't following the script. Mike Tyson doesn't back up. He advances. With quick little steps, head low, body leaning forward, he closes the distance relentlessly. Berbick's jabs land, but Tyson doesn't care. He walks through them like they're nothing. 20 seconds into the fight, and Tyson is already inside Berbick's reach. Too close. Dangerously close. Berbick tries to step back, but Tyson sticks to him. A left hook to the body slams into Berbick's ribs with an audible thud. Berbick sucks in air, surprised. That hurt. It hurt far more than it should have. He tries to create space, but Tyson is on him like a shadow. Another hook, this time right. Berbick's body twists. He tries to counter, throwing a right cross, but Tyson slips it with a minimal, perfect head movement. The punch passes where Tyson's head had been a quarter second earlier. And then Tyson counters. A right uppercut rising from below, through Berbick's guard, landing clean on the chin. Berbick's head snaps back. His legs wobble. For the first time in his career, Trevor Berbick, the man who beat Muhammad Ali, feels real fear. This kid isn't normal. 30 seconds into the fight. Berbick tries to regroup. He backs up, tries the jab again, but his legs don't respond the way they should. That uppercut shook something loose. Tyson gives no respite. He pursues. Relentless, methodical. A three-punch combination. Jab, right cross, left hook. The right cross slips past Berbick's guard and catches his temple. The left hook lands on the body. Berbick staggers sideways. 45 seconds. The crowd is on its feet. What they're witnessing isn't a fight. It's an execution. Berbick tries to clinch, but Tyson shoves him off with raw power. They're in the center of the ring. Berbick throws one last desperate right cross, putting all his weight behind it, hoping to turn the tide. Tyson slips to the side. The punch sails harmlessly past, and then Tyson unleashes the bomb. A left cross from an impossible angle. Tyson's glove travels less than 30 centimeters, but carries the full rotational force of his hips, shoulders, and the spring-loaded speed of his arm. The punch lands on the side of Berbick's jaw, just below the ear. The impact is surgical, precise, devastating. Berbick's head whips violently to the right. His eyes glaze over, his legs buckle. But he doesn't fall immediately. Instead, something bizarre happens. Berbick staggers sideways, legs moving independently, without control. He takes 2 steps left, stumbles, drops to his knees, gets up staggering, takes 3 steps right, stumbles again, crashes into the ropes, bounces back to the center. It's like watching someone try to walk on a boat in a storm. His neurological system has been completely shut down. He is conscious, but his brain has lost all control over his body. The referee watches for 2 seconds, sees Berbick stagger again, drop to his knees, try to rise and stumble, and then acts. He jumps between the fighters, wraps his arms around Berbick to prevent another fall, and waves his arms. It's over. Technical knockout. 1 minute and 33 seconds of the second round. Total effective fight time, under 5 minutes. Trevor Berbick sits in the corner, being examined by the doctor. His eyes are open, but confused. He doesn't seem to fully understand what happened. 1 minute ago, he was the world champion. Now he's sitting in a chair, being asked what day it is, trying to remember where he is. His career as heavyweight elite has just ended. He will fight for a few more years, but he will never be the same. That punch changed something fundamental. Mike Tyson stands in the center of the ring. No emotion, no celebration. He merely raises his arms when the announcer declares the result, but his eyes remain empty. There is no joy there, just a job completed. The crowd is in shock. They came expecting a war. They expected the experienced veteran Berbick to teach the arrogant young kid a lesson. Instead, they witnessed the arrival of something different, something terrifying. In post-fight interviews, Berbick will try to explain. "I didn't see the punch coming," he'll say, his voice still slightly slurred. "I thought I was moving well, and then, I don't remember. I just remember being on the floor and not being able to get up. My legs wouldn't obey." Reporters will ask about his pre-fight words, about teaching Tyson a lesson. Berbick won't answer. What is there to say? The promises sound foolish now. Tyson will become the youngest heavyweight world champion in history at 20 years old. He will continue his path of destruction for years, knocking out nearly everyone he faces. But this fight, this specific night, will remain a defining moment. Because it was here that the world saw for the first time what Tyson truly was. Not a fighter, a phenomenon. Berbick will never be the same. He will fight 12 more times in the coming years, beating lesser opponents, losing to anyone at elite level. The man who defeated Muhammad Ali became a name people mention only as a footnote. Remember the guy Tyson destroyed in 90 seconds? The promise to teach a lesson turned into the most brutal lesson possible. In the locker room after the fight, away from cameras and reporters, an old trainer who had worked with Berbick for years sits beside him. The room smells of liniment and defeat. Berbick has finally regained full lucidity. His hands tremble slightly as he holds an ice pack to his jaw. He looks at the trainer, and there is something in his eyes the old man had never seen before. Berbick says something he will never repeat in public. "I trained my whole life. I fought the best. Ali Frazier, sparring with champions. I thought I knew what power was. But that kid isn't human. It isn't possible to hit like that. Not with that speed and that power. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't get nervous. He just destroys." The trainer doesn't respond. Because there is no response. What do you say to a warrior who has just discovered there are levels of violence beyond his comprehension? At 20 years old, Mike Tyson had just announced to the world that a new era had begun. An era where experience, size, and even talent didn't matter if you stood in the path of pure violence. Trevor Berbick learned it the hardest way possible. In 60 seconds of brutal knockout that ended not just the fight, but effectively his relevance in the sport. The lesson Berbick promised to give became the lesson he received. Never underestimate destruction, never provoke the storm, and never ever promise to teach anything to someone who was born knowing how to break bones and spirits with the same ease. 60 seconds were all Mike Tyson needed to write that truth into boxing history with the unconscious body of a veteran who dared to doubt. And as Berbick sat in that locker room, he finally understood. Some storms cannot be tamed. They can only be avoided.